that can be occurred from the program. So this is your chance, I would say, with the physical presence to see from the first hand how you can benefit from the program. And also, I hope that in the near future, are going to establish this Erasmus Plus office, in at least in this year, with our help and support of our national agency. Any questions, any remarks, clarifications that you would like to be addressed? Dilante?
I think, Alexander, we can like allow anyone who wants to raise questions to raise their hands. So what we can do is we can give priority to whoever raises the hand and go on. So we have time until about 11 o'clock. That is about another 1 hour for the Q&A session. So anyone wants to ask any questions or any clarifications, I would like to request you to raise your hand so like we can unmute you and we can ask the question.
This Ganesh from Novarelia. You can speak, Ganesh.
I think he is muted.
And
Karim?
if you can raise your hand, I can unmute you.
Yeah, he raised already.
Okay, let me. Ganesh, can you unmute yourself now?
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi guys, and thank you, Mr. Alexander, for the clarifications. Just I got a doubt regarding the training program you have mentioned. In 2 weeks, just we will meet, or you're going to hold a training program in Sri Lanka. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. With physical presence, yeah, we are going to arrive at 15th of
Yes.
February in Sri Lanka.
So, is there any procedure? So, will you let us know the exact procedure to apply, or what is the procedure to apply?
This can be managed with Dilante. For reason that we are as a trainers, as a guests, yeah. So this can be Dilante can explain you a little bit more for the
Yes.
registration.
We have our website, so you can actually we have closed our applications on 31st of January, but still you can send your application to that's our email address. And Karim, can they apply still?
Yeah, I'll put the link on the on the chat. You can go to the website and register it there. So we'll contact you with the details how to register and the details.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I think this is our website. You can go to this site. That's interested to participate. You can click here, and you can still send your information. But we thought that we will stop registering people on 31st of January. So you can register. Then we will send you details about location and other information. Actually, our original plan was to have that in Colombo, but keep having Colombo, there are some issues because of the cost factor of food and other things, plus difficult to get good location. So we thought of having close to Colombo. You know, there is a university, this Naganand International Institute for Buddhist Studies, and I'll just show you the location and the facilities available.
Yes. I'm aware it. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, this is very close to Kalaniya, ancient temple, and Birgama. If you come by highway, it's close to Birgama and Kaduela highway exit. So this workshop will be held here because it has more modern and ample car parking and other facilities. So we'll inform all the details to you in due course.
I think
Yes, okay. Thank you.
I think Mr. Sarath is there. He wants to raise a question. Yes, Mr. Sarath, you can go ahead. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can
Yeah, we
hear.
can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dilanta. Thank you, Karim. Also, Mr. Alexander. As I learned, this program is also for the climate change
Yes.
resilience.
This is one of the main priorities. Green agenda, digitalization, and inclusion are the top 3 priorities of the program.
Okay. I am participating today with Mr. Pertrostoff from Denmark, and we are on behalf of Nordic Focus Center. So what we want to find out is clarified today at this point. I was with United Nations earlier as a national expert for the renewable energy, UNIDO in Colombo. And with a cooperation with Nordic Focus Center in Denmark, can one party can apply for few projects, a few trainings in, I think, for the capacity building in technical areas, engineering
Capacity
areas.
building in vocational and training.
Yes, vocational training part. Can we apply for few at once?
Yes, only for European University Initiative, there can be only one application from the partners. But in other areas, you can apply several times, multiply times, but taking in consideration, the projects needs to be different, and also partners needs to be different. What means the partners to be different in the project? It means that if you have 3 partners with the minimum criteria, more or less in each field is minimum criteria of 3 partners, then if you want to apply with other projects for the same call for vocational training and capacity building, then at least you need to involve additional partner. These 3 partners can stay the same, but you need to involve this 4th one. And if you want to apply for 3rd project at the same call, then you need to have different kind of partnerships, at least additional 1, or change the other partners from these before 4 partners. Can you notice my point of view? What is the criteria for the applications? Yes, you can apply multiply times, but with different partners for the same call.
Thank you.
And with different kind of projects, not with the same one.
Yes, yes. And also for one more question. Can we apply for on behalf of the African partners, or for the African countries on behalf of ourselves?
It's like this. So if there is if you have noticed in the presentation, if Sri Lankan institution is eligible to participate, to be applicant, then you're applying as institution or organization from Sri Lanka together. This is just one example. One other institution from India and 2 other institutions from Europe. And these 4 institutions are making and creating one consortia, which one is the lead applicant and the 3 others are partners. And if the Sri Lankan institutions wants to be applicant, then you're applying together with these 3 institutions, but in the application form, you're the role, you're the applicant. And you're receiving the budget if your application is granted. But in the application, in this working package, as I have mentioned and explained before, there are different kind of duties for each partner with different kind of budgets. If there is a 200,000 budget euros, then maybe 40,000 euros needs to be reallocated for the first partner, the other 40 for the second one, for the third one, 40, and for the applicant, 80,000 euros, depending on the activities that you have mentioned in your application form.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Thank you. And hopefully we'll try to meet upon during the program here. Thank you.
Yes, I hope that we are going to see each other.
You too. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Sarath. I think next we have Viraj. Viraj, if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dilanta. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Dilanta and Mr. Alexander as well. I got the information very clearly. I am from the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau, Sri Lanka. This is the state-owned enterprises. Now, the state-owned enterprises, usually we are not getting the budgetary provisions from the country. That means from the government. In that case, we are self-financing organization. Now, the CCB already established a Center for Academy of Excellence under the CCB umbrella. So, in order to do the most of the technical training and educate and engineering related subjects really, because we are very lacking with some of the high professional engineering streams. We want to establish that capacity under our training unit. What sort of arrangement we can do through this ERASMUS program? Because I could really do not know, I do not get the clear understanding. This type of organization, the semi-governmental organization, whether they can directly register and ask, is it possible to, I think, formulate a special degree program, like a PhD program, because all are graduate at the moment. Most of the people, engineering graduate and the technical graduate, in order to bring it to the higher level of academic in the industry. So we are really planning for a lot of things, but unfortunately, we may not be able to capture the grants and the funding. So is it the good program for opening up such a venue?
Okay, so what is your main question? What would you like to achieve? This is my main question. What would you like to achieve? Yes.
Yeah, especially focus in the further education in engineering sciences in industrial sector.
Okay, is your institution a higher education institution, or it's like institution who is?
We are not in a higher education institution. We are state-owned enterprises at the moment. At the same time, institution having the launching the very soon in CCB Academy of Excellence in order to capturing many educational standards and levels of our engineering educations. So I do not know whether this is then a good opportunity to build up another link with the European network or some other university and that type of arrangement.
Yes, I understand now. So basically, yes, there is also a lot of enforcement in this program regarding cross-sectoral partnerships. What this means? It means that higher education institutions, VET providers, or institutions like yours, and other public or private institutions can create cross-sectoral partnerships. What this means? It means that you can apply for vocational training for creation of this kind of trainings in Sri Lanka with support of higher education institutions who are already experienced in this area, and also with maybe with other training providers who are going to give additional value of your trainings and curricula that you would like to create or to conduct. Yes, there is plenty of possibilities, but also taking in consideration that there's not only higher education. My question it was, if your institution is it a higher education institution, but taking in consideration that cross-sectoral partnerships are strongly supported from the program. So if you want to create additional courses or curricula at your institution with support from other institutions and to create this together, yes, you can be eligible in different kind of areas, but mostly I think that you can be eligible in the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master or design measures or in the capacity building in different areas.
Yeah, I don't know whether you got that point. CECB, or the Central Engineering Consultancy Bureau, is a state-owned enterprise, not under the education sector, but it is in the industrial sector.
Yes, you're a consultancy. So, as a consultancy, what you would like to achieve? That was my first question.
Usually, all engineering consultancy services we are providing from the institution, which is linked with the, especially the sectors like civil engineering and environmental engineering, and many more in the, especially for the industrial engineering sector. So, and at the same time, institution
you can create.
research,
yeah, just a moment. This is. I need to give up an idea. So that's why I needed additional information. So you are working consultancy in the area of energy efficiency, in the area
Yeah,
of
in the hydropower development, energy sector,
yes,
and the
this
environment,
is
disaster
yes.
management.
So basically, yes, you can create together maybe some program together with other consultancies that are working in the same or similar areas like yours, concretely in vocational educational training. Some kind of research which is going to be then applied on some platform, maybe on your platform, and which is going to be public. But creation of this intellectual output is going to be granted and budgeted by the Erasmus Plus funds. This is just first my idea. This came up of my mind for regarding your scope of work and regarding your consultancy. So yes, there are a lot of possibilities, as I mentioned before, but you need to be aware, okay, there is a program guide for the Erasmus Plus program and your consultancy, which is working in the energy efficiency. Okay, one of the main goals is the green agenda and energy efficiency in Europe, in general in the program, okay, where we can be eligible. Yes, we can be eligible in capacity building, we can be eligible in knowledge alliance, we can be eligible in international credit mobility, also for incoming and outgoing of students. In which manner? This is the second one. You can just sign a bilateral agreements with universities from Europe. This was another example for incoming of students, and they're going to conduct a traineeship at your institution, and they're going to work, but they're going to be paid by the European Union funds. And from other side, you're going to send staff from your institution to upgrade themselves and maybe to teach and to have lecturers at similar providers consultancy in Europe, or they have possibilities also at higher education institutions to teach. There's also possibility for staff from companies and from consultancy and from other different kind of public and private bodies to teach at universities. So this is only just two examples how you can be involved in this Erasmus Plus program. I hope that this
Yeah,
clarification.
thank you very much. I got that point. Yeah, I think we will definitely work with that, and we will try to contact you in future as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Mr. Raj, for raising that question. I think next we have Mr. Hiran. Mr. Hiran, can you unmute yourself and raise a question?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Hiran, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now we are a National Parents Association. So these are basically adults. We are a group of adults, but interested in the welfare of the students and the youth of the country. So what I want to know is it possible for us to for capacity building, bring down some experts from the European areas in skills development and special innovation skills building programs? Can we invite and bring down some experts from Europe and do the trainings here?
Yes. It's possible not only through capacity building, but also through international credit mobilities and also through individual mobilities. You can notice if you are going to check in the Erasmus Plus program and in the Erasmus Plus program guide, but taking in consideration that you first need to create and to sign bilateral agreement for cooperation, for collaboration. If you're going to sign this agreement for collaboration, sorry, but we have some other additional voices. So sorry. So yes, signing the bilateral agreements, and the first thing first, you need to create Erasmus account. When you're going to create Erasmus account, then also at the training we are going to share information about a lot of European institutions that they would like to collaborate in different kind of areas. After signing of these bilateral agreements, then your institution, or depending on the field where you are going to apply, or the institution from Europe, they can apply in the national agency, or they can apply for centralized sections directly in Brussels. For creation and conducting of trainings, maybe it can be in both ways. This is better.
Okay.
I would say that this way is better every time in the application form. Creation of trainings in Europe, but also in your country. And in the end, just clarifications and conclusions, what is going to be achieved with these trainings, and also taking in consideration the impact, dissemination, and sustainability of this kind of activities. It's not simple like that. We are going to create trainings and we are going to receive budget for this. No, that's why we are going to create on-site this training, but also these details needs to be notified in the application, like relevance, impact, dissemination, sustainability, what kind of preparatory measures you are going to conduct. And also, if you are, this was your very good point of view. Why? For reason that you are saying first the cost. What is the cost and the reason for creation of these trainings? For reason that you have notified and noticed that there's lack of this kind of trainings, courses, and also stuff for these areas. And that's the main and initial point. Why would you like to create this kind of trainings? Excellent.
Okay.
Sustainability, impact, dissemination at the end. Perfect.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have Shehara. Stephanie, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear
can I-
you. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Shahara Stephanie from Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, and I'm heading the Chamber Academy. So we do have plans to conduct capacity building for undergraduates. So we are in the process of planning a program with the state universities, especially with the state universities, to how we can empower our undergraduates in order to be ready for the industry, the corporate requirements. So is it,
Yeah, this is perfect example. If that was all, sorry, maybe I interrupt you.
yes.
You want to add something else? Or I
No,
can proceed.
go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay, so yes, as I said, this is a perfect example how project can be started from the point of view of vocational educational training and higher education, merging higher education institutions, vet providers, maybe secondary schools also, etc. Yes, I would say, depending of your aim. If your aim is in vocational educational and training, then you should aim of capacity building in vet. If your aim is creating of curriculums for the universities and also adaptation of students through these curriculums at the universities for merging the public and private sector with the needs of the public and private sector and the curriculums and studies at the universities, then maybe it's better to fulfill the applications for higher education. But more or less, you're not going to make mistake if you want to apply for higher education or for vocational educational training, but you need to take in consideration also what kind of partners you are going to involve in your project. And what, yes, you wanted to
program for individual applications or the agencies. Now the Chamber
no.
of Commerce
Oh.
is the premier organization which represents the private business community in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So is that I'm just asking, is it do you all have individual applications? For example, if I can apply for a particular program, or is that my agency has to apply to get the partnership with you?
Yes. So first thing first, your agency needs to apply. There is no applications, as I mentioned at the beginning, through physical persons. Always through public or private bodies, NGOs, companies, etc. From the legal entities. Yeah. So the second one is that if you want to apply for each of the Erasmus Plus sub-programs, then you need to apply together with partners. You cannot apply as an individual Chamber of Commerce or NGO, etc. Taking into consideration that this application, you can be lead applicant, but also you need to be aware about the eligibility criteria for each call. And that's why we are going to put also emphasis on the eligibility criteria on the training. But in capacity building, at least 2 institutions from Europe, from the program countries, and 2 institutions from partner countries. There is possibility for more institutions from partner countries. Partner countries are countries outside of borders of Europe, and 2 institutions from Europe. There is possibility for equal partners from Europe and from outside of borders of Europe, but also you can increase the partners from partner countries and the lower the partners from the European countries. But each time you need to have partners which we are going to apply together. You are going to be the applicant, the main role of the application, and you are going to apply, but also in the application form, you need to fulfill first the OID numbers of each your partner. And when you are going to fulfill in the application the OID number of your partner, all the data for the partner from the partner are going to be enrolled in the application. And also you need to sign mandate letters with your partners, which needs to be attached to your application form. These are the technicalities which are very much, and we strongly encourage you to bearing in mind the technicalities of each application form. But yes, I like your idea. It's perfect for the program. It's about merging the public or private sector and companies with universities and with the secondary schools, but needs awareness of technicalities in the program. And also, if you're applying for capacity building, then you're applying directly in Brussels. If you're applying for cooperation partnerships, then some institution from Europe needs to be lead, and you can be a partner in the application. These are the main differences.
Okay, thanks. Clear. So the application portal is open, or is it closed from 31st January?
Yeah,
or how?
no, you can go ahead. You can go to
No,
IPHT.
31st of January was for European Universities Initiative.
I'm sorry?
This was the first. The 31st of January, the first deadline for the program of the Erasmus Plus for this year was for the European Universities Initiative, not for capacity building. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next, before we go into Kanishka, I think there's a question raised via chat. I think Amzal, I think Alexandra, you answered this question. If you can give a short answer, it would be highly appreciated.
Yeah.
He's asking, I completed my master's degree at University of Colombo. After I applied to the MSc program in Aberdeen University in Scotland, can I get a scholarship through Erasmus? That's the
Yes,
question.
you can receive. There are 2 main ways of receiving scholarships through Erasmus. The first one is through the Study in Europe project, which is developed by the European Commission, and now it's managed by Campus France and DAD from Germany. And there is a platform for Study in Europe project. Just Google it, and you can find each country from Europe regarding the scholarships from the universities. And the second one is Erasmus Mundus Joint Master, where, as we have explained in the presentation, there is a scholarship through this program, which is 1,400 euros per month for scholarships, and you are free of charge for studying at these universities which have received Erasmus Mundus Joint Master scholarships from the European Commission.
Thank you, Alexandra. Like Alex, we'll go to Kanishka. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, thank you very much for the information provided so far. So I'm Kanishka. I represent a private organization called Square Hub. So what we do is we do incubation for early stage startups. And currently we have certain arrangements with UNDP, United Nations Development Program, one of their programs we are incubating. But throughout my experience of being in incubation for last 4 years, we see that there is a lot of requirement at the grassroots level. And we also have done certain feasibility studies on our own to understand what kind of requirements should be done in terms of building the capacity of youth for doing business and creating employment opportunity. So in that context, as an individual organization, what opportunities we have, I understand that we need to find certain partners from Europe, but as an individual organization, can we apply for the program? That is my first question. And the second part of the question is, I also have taken part in a program from ERASMUS University from Netherlands. Is that the same kind of a program which is attached to this? And that program had certain capacity building programs for entrepreneurship. And that's something which we could also look at as a partnership.
Yes, so I'm going to start from the second question. Yes, it's the same program. Erasmus Plus is already a brand, and it's more than 30 years in Europe and worldwide. So Erasmus, we have already named universities in Netherlands, which are Erasmus University of Hack, or I really don't remember the full name of the university, but there are a lot of universities which have named the university as Erasmus University. This is the same program. For the first question, yes, you can be eligible also in the youth area, but also, as I mentioned, you need to find partners for your project. Taking in consideration, I highly appreciated this one, that you have mentioned, that we have conducted already some kind of visibility and research, and there is also related with youth. So every time when you would like to apply for the program of the Erasmus Plus, you need to have some kind of, not research, but from your institution or from your company, but also you need to have first think why you would like to create this kind of projects, what you are going to solve, which was not solved before, and what kind of sustainability you are going to achieve in the period, like for the period of 5 years or 10 years or 15 years after finishing of your activity. So this is very much important. And as a youth startups, this is also very much interesting in the youth area. Present that in youth you have also formal, formal and non-formal education and skills. And you can see regarding your point of view and your research that you have already conducted and your visibility study, in which area you are going to incorporate your activities in soft skills or in formal or non-formal education.
So to give you a bit of a background, so we conduct from, I would say, cradle to grave approach. So where we take youth on a program, a structured program, starting off with their business registration to the problem identification to solutioning, and then even going for a small amount of funding as a grant. So I have a sub question, whether a grant can be accommodated for these startups through this program out of the grant that we might get?
Yes, it cannot be granted like startup for some company. It's not this way of the Erasmus Plus. It's not like for, I want to build some startup of company, I need funds for startup of this company. But you can arrange different kind of activities for creation of this startup company, if you can understand me. Like research, trainings before, you can also you can have also funds for project management costs. There are project management costs in each activity, in each field, in each sub-action of the Erasmus Plus. So there are at least monthly rates, like 1,000 euros, 1,500 euros monthly rates, which are for the applicant or for the partners. This is the first basic budget from each centralized or decentralized action. So you can receive funds for creation of these preparatory measures for creation of your startup or company, but you cannot receive funds just for establishing a startup company.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, I
You're
think
welcome.
next we have Suresh Surendran. If you can unmute yourself. Suresh, if you can. Okay, fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. I'm Professor Surendran, and I'm a Executive Director for International Research Center, Borneo, University of Borneo. I'm very sorry I missed the first 1 hour due to the power cut, and in Borneo, at the 9 to 10, that's power cut. So I couldn't participate. My question for Alexander is, Erasmus program have a 3 action: mobility to individual, corporate among organization and institution, and policy development, and also other few program. When we apply for this one, is it possible us to apply as a main applicant, or we are going to contribute a package or something as a partner for the member states of EU?
So you have done your homework, I would say, for reason that you already know that the Erasmus Plus is created from 3 key actions. Key action 1, individual mobilities; key action 2, cooperation partnerships, partnership for cooperation; and key action 3, which is related more with the youth and other centralized actions. As a university, you're eligible, and also as a country, this was also mentioned in the presentation, as applicant for the centralized actions. More or less, for each centralized action, you can be an applicant together with partners, other partners from other parts of the world, also from Sri Lanka. It can be, you can, just to make a distinction, you can also have partners from your country.
Yeah.
It's not non-eligible. Another thing is that for the decentralized actions in the national agencies, you can be as a partner. International credit mobility. Do you have any kind of international credit mobility activities until now? This is my question. For individual mobilities, this is for incoming and outgoing of students and stuff, for reason that you are coming from higher education institution.
Actually, I recently came from UK. I was in UK, yes, in my previous years, did with several European countries.
So yes, this one is the first thing that can be as a possibility for incoming and outgoing of staff and students. And you have separate budgets for incoming and outgoing. But also you have organizational support funds for each realization of student staff mobility or trainings. You are going to receive 400 euros per each activity. So if we are going to send 10 professors for teaching assignments, or for trainings for staff, for administrative staff from universities, at some universities or public or private bodies in Europe, then you are going to receive additional funds as a university. So there's a motivation in this program. There's not only for, okay, we are going to create projects, we are going to send and receive students and staff, and also we are going to create trainings, but also there is a separate budget for motivation of the applicants. This is one point where you are going to receive funds which are not, you don't need any kind of explanation for these funds, for these additional funds. And you have this kind of additional funds in every area. Like, okay, I'm going to mention now Jean Monnet activities. For each month of the activities, if the activities are predicted for 24 months, then for each month you are going to receive 20% of the total budget only for project management costs. So if your grant is 400,000 euros, then you are going to receive 80,000 euros project management costs just for managing the processes with your partners together, not by your own.
Yeah. So you mentioned the centralized one. What do you mean by centralized? That's include cooperation among organization, policy development, all coming under centralized, the central project, or?
There is like this. Key action 1, you have individual mobilities, like mobilities for companies, for universities, for schools, etc.
Yeah.
And also you have cooperation partnerships and small skills partnerships.
Correct.
These applications are in the national agencies. We have 33 national agencies in Europe, in each
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
The other ones, capacity building, Jean Monnet, European University Initiative, Knowledge Alliance, etc., modules, chairs, etc., are on centralized level in Brussels, and you can apply directly in Brussels online through the platforms.
Right.
These are the main differences.
Okay, so what you say is the three, whatever you mentioned, that's I have to go through the national agencies as a main one.
You're not going through the national agencies, but if you have institution that is going to apply in the Norwegian, this is just one example, national agency, then they're going to fulfill you as a partner institution, other two institutions, or additional one, depending on the minimum criteria of the partnerships, and they're applying in the Norwegian national agency. And we're going to, if the application is successful and if it is fulfilling all the eligibility criteria, and when this institution is going to receive the budget for starting of the implementation of the activities, then is mandatory, according to the application and according to the rules and regulations of the Erasmus, to separate the budgets through the partners, for reason that you are going to have also different kind of activities in these areas.
Right.
This is the management process.
Okay, so I could read about the central, what are the things we should be doing from your presentation slides, or where I could find it.
Sorry, I didn't understand fully
My
the
question is, as a third country, not, as Sri Lanka, I just want to know the list of activities which we could lead. Do you have any information?
Yes, you can lead for each centralized action that is in Brussels, and you can be partner for decentralized actions in the national agencies. This is the main differences. So we had this in the presentation, in which area institutions from Sri Lanka can be lead and applicants, and in which area there can be partners. And also this is in the today's presentation mentioned in separate
Any deadline
slides.
attached to this, please? I'm sorry asking some silly questions. I miss your presentation.
There are no silly questions, believe me. Yes, there is.
Any deadline attached to that? Or?
Yes, there are different kind of deadlines through the year. There is no fixed deadline for decentralized actions. There is fixed deadline for no. There are different kind of deadlines through the year. The first deadline was for European Universities Initiative, and it was until yesterday. It was until 31st of January.
Okay, thank you.
And the budget for this call, it was stunning 384 million euros. Yeah, 384 million euros. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think next we have Naomi Rajamantri. Like, if you can unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, first of all, I thank you so much, Mr. Dilantha, for giving me information to join this Zoom. And I'm sorry I almost lost the beginning of this conversation as I got a little bit late to come home tonight. And very pleased to meet you in this place. So I myself, I am the director of VTA in Sri Lanka, Vocational Training Center. And also I have, I newly started a foundation for children with special needs, which in Sri Lanka having a lot of issues for children with a special need for their education and their well-being and disability awareness. Actually, in Sri Lanka, they need a lot of support. As myself, I graduated in Nagoya University in Japan, and I lived in the UK for past years, and I was a lecturer in the London vocational campus as well. So my subject was health and social care. As I came back to Sri Lanka, I started this program because I get to know a lot of children in Sri Lanka which is neglected without education and proper guidance or disability awareness. So we have proposal to build up like a big village for them, give them education and needful, and train them in all the way in order for them to have a quality of life. So if it's possible for you to help this organization for education, give grant or, whatever the support you can do, if it's possible. As well, if we can also for other people, like what we call normal people, if we can have programs for education as well for rural area children which are lacking a lot of supports.
Yeah.
So one way another, if you can help them, yeah, I'm very pleased to help support them as well. Thank you.
So this is one point very much important that you have mentioned:
Mhm.
inclusion.
Mhm.
Inclusion with for children's with disabilities, with fewer opportunities or disadvantaged background, etc. These are
Yes.
the two main definitions of the program.
Mhm.
I would say youth or people in general. In this manner, it's about youth, it's about child, but in general, there are two types of definitions, like disadvantaged background and fewer opportunities. And when you are going to fulfill any kind of application with the Erasmus Plus, please don't mention special needs, for reason that this is already past like this kind of typization, I would say, and acknowledgement of the students or childs with disabilities.
Mhm.
This is one of the main priority of the program, inclusion.
Mhm.
And yes, you're more than eligible as a vet provider or as a institution or school, as I have noticed, that is working with childs and youth who have disabilities.
Mhm.
And there are also additional funds through the Erasmus Plus program for creation of some kind of maybe dormitories or something else. This is not eligible for the European countries, but for the partner countries, there can be separate budget for creation and building of some kind of, I would say, dormitories or something else that it can be which it can be useful for the students and for the child for the child. So
Wow.
basically, yes, there are possibilities also on
Wonderful. Yeah.
decentralized level
Mhm.
through with your partners. You can find partners also. That's why I'm coming in Sri Lanka for merging and collaboration between European countries and concretely here in Sri Lanka. There in
Okay.
Sri Lanka,
Mhm.
and also maybe if you're not very much experienced in this area of the Erasmus Plus, you can be partner in some kind of projects which are going to be applied in the national
Mhm.
agencies or on centralized level in Brussels, and you can predict trainings and also teaching
Vocational
assignments
training.
and
Yeah.
yes,
Mm.
yes, for the center, and
Mhm.
also you can predict funds for building of some kind of dormitories or something else,
Yes,
which is
please.
going to
Yes.
be not very much huge, I would say, in line with budgets.
Mhm.
I'm always honest, but it can be managed through the application process.
Wow, that's wonderful. God bless you. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And don't know how we can take it from here. I hope Mr. Dilantha will be helped. And if you are planning to come to Sri Lanka, yes, of course.
Yes, I will come in Sri Lanka on 15th of February, and we are going
Wow.
to conduct 3 days training over there. and I hope that more or less most of you are going to participate in the training for reason that we are going to go deep in details with the program, and we are going to tell you directly how you can benefit not in the financial matter, but how you can benefit on a long term
Oh, yeah.
of this program.
Yeah.
This is the main reason why, and I'm coming in Sri Lanka.
Wow, that's wonderful. Of course, you can look for www.richardfoundation.lk is the website. And yeah.
Just write it in the message just to have in mind the web page.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see you.
Okay, then thank you very much. And let's go next to, I think, Dr. Sunil Navaratna is there. Doctor, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, yes.
Hi, Dilantha. Good evening, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm the Director General of NIE, National Institute of Education. We are the people who do curriculum development for general education, as well as free and in-service teacher training, postgraduate and all. Especially, I have academics who need training to do masters and PhD on curriculum development, as well as we're very keen to introduce a reform, education reforms to match with the 21st century and fourth industrial revolution. For all these things, these days we are having some funding issues. As you know, Sri Lanka is having some economic crisis. So I'm very keen to develop some programs to train my academic staff, special curriculum developers, to match with the 21st century education. And we are doing a huge reform. At the same time, we're interested on research, joint research with, say, Finland and, say, other European countries, as well as sometimes we have to train our academic staff in Europe as well as in Singapore sometime. For these things, we would like to apply for funding. I would like to get your advice. So Dilantha is a very good friend of ours. And thank you very much for inviting me for this meeting. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm seeing this already idea for the curriculum development for a reason that you are already working in the curriculum development, your collaboration with higher education institutions together, and creation of master design measures, just designing
Implementation.
Yes, but there is a first possibility in Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. There are two kinds of possibilities. The first one is creation of Erasmus Mundus Joint Master, which means joint masters between universities, but also this can be cross-sectoral partnership between different stakeholders, also mandatory involving of universities, higher education institutions. And the second possibility is an accreditation, mandatory accreditation of these master studies in each country which is going to be involved in this consortia. And the second one, which is a little bit softer, I would say, and easier, it's like design measures, Erasmus Mundus design measures. You are going to design these curriculums and studies, but without mandatory field for accreditation of these studies. This is the first area where you can be compatible, where your institution can be compatible for this. Bearing in mind also that these projects are not only, okay, I'm going to create master studies and you are going to give me funds and we are going to send them the master studies. No, it's not this way. You have different kind of activities that you need to fulfill in your application form for the period of the project duration. If the project is 36 months or 26 months or 24 months, depending on the area which you're applying, there are different kind of timetable of activities. You need to involve learning, teaching, training activities. You need to involve maybe some kind of student mobilities. You are going to involve in this project multiplier events at the end of the activities. You are going to incorporate also in your application the intellectual output, which is going to be related with the curricula. Also, in the end, what kind of impact your curriculums and your master studies are going to be are going to achieve. If it is on local level only in each country, I can guarantee you that your application is not going to be above 60 points. For reason that if the application is under 60 points, then on the eligibility, on the evaluation process, then it's rejected. So that's why there are also other details in this program, but for this session today, we are explaining the possibilities and taking in consideration criteria for each area. Yes, you can be eligible. You are eligible as an institution first in the Erasmus Mundus, but I would say that depending of the idea that you would like to achieve the main goal, you can be eligible in different kind of sub-programs of the Erasmus Plus, not only in one company, as a company, I would say, can be eligible in capacity building higher education, can be eligible in vocational training, it can be eligible in cooperation partnerships in youth, it can be eligible in different kind of areas, but also there is need of focus for other partners. You cannot be involved in higher education, in cooperation partnerships in higher education, if you are a company, but without involving higher education institutions. I hope that I'm clear.
Yes, actually, we are involving in both the general education as well as higher education. Our institute is entitled for both.
Yeah.
Thank you. So looking forward to see you soon in Sri Lanka. Thank you, Dilant. Thank you.
Looking forward to see you.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, thanks. So let's go next to, I think it's Sandy Wiener. Can unmute yourself.
Hi. So I work with several nonprofits here in Sri Lanka, and right now our current focus is around addressing the food issue, like maybe to continue to develop food gardens in schools and to help kids develop home gardens. I'm wondering, does that fall under green development or anything relevant?
This can be in line with one of the main priorities, the green agenda of the Erasmus Plus. But it's depending what kind of project you want to create. If the project is aiming training, then it could be, then it can be in the vocational training. If it's aiming soft skills for youth, then it can be in the area of youth. If your aim is like childs from primary and secondary schools, then it can be in the area of school education, in different kind of decentralized or centralized actions. That's why you need to have in your mind the idea what you would like to achieve, what kind of person, staff you want to involve in your activities, and after that you can see, okay, yes, my idea is related with creation of soft skills for adult education. They need to have soft skills for reason that they are not employed. They need to achieve soft skills. Adults who are from, I would say, for example, from left from prisons. This is just one example. And they need to conduct soft skills. Then it's going to be okay in adult education. We are going to work also in a non-formal and formal education for youth. Okay, we can go with the youth area. Depends of your point of perspective and point of involvement of your partners. And also, if you are NGO, most NGOs are eligible, I would say, more or less in youth, and also in you can be eligible also in adult education. Maybe you are going to educate youth people, but the first area that for your education is for, if it is for adult trainers who are working with youth people, then it can be adult. For reason that your training is related with trainers who are adults. Just one comparison. I hope that I didn't confuse you.
Interesting. So now you're getting me thinking more. And
Yeah.
also wondering things like along the lines of developing libraries. I know that's
Really, for the libraries, I cannot give you some example. Yes, in this moment, what kind of activities can be done, if I understand you correctly, for the libraries.
like, for example, if to do permaculture training and we're in the villages, they have no access to books, to libraries, to internet or anything else. So our thinking is to support libraries. I mean, we're doing it anyway, but it's
Yes, you can involve and you can put this idea in your application form. How? Teaching of youth with support of the libraries. This is the line. So that's why you need to think a little bit more what kind of activities. Yes, you are going to conduct trainings for youth for soft skills. Yes, but for these soft skills and for the trainers, you need additional information and additional narrative part that you need to fulfill in the application. Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
training as a
not-
training it's perfect. Yeah, but bearing in mind the details for the trainings.
Yeah, it's not just the soft skills. It's also like the awareness of what people are eating, the nutritional needs. Sri Lanka has got extremely high rate of malnutrition, but
This
it
can
doesn't
be
mean there's
as
no food.
this can be non-formal education. For a reason that you have three types of education. You already know, I hope, is the same in Europe and everywhere in the world. Formal, non-formal, informal education. So it is, if it's formal, then it's with a diploma, it's with diploma supplement, it's like public-private schools, etc. This one is non-formal education. It can be enrolled in the non-formal education.
So we can do it for youth and parents.
Yes, for both.
Yeah, this is,
And you can have separate sessions for youth and separate sessions for parents.
yeah, exactly, or both. It's, so you
But
have us
first
all
thing,
thinking the remaining.
yes, but first thing first, if you want to be involved, my advice for all of you that are attending today as at the meeting, download the Erasmus Plus program guide, the last version from January this year,
I did that.
2023. There are several versions of the guide. It's updated all the time, and it's different kind of sub programs, etc. But one is clear for the 30 years of the program. I'm working more than 14 years in this program. That the possibilities for each physical person, I would say, not for the public and private bodies, possibilities to be for involvement of each person in the world, especially now aiming Sri Lanka, it's possible. It's possible. So that's the first aim of the program: inclusion, diversity, green agenda, digitalization, employability. Everyone can be touched in these areas. This is the Erasmus Plus program guide. Dilanta, I think that you have shared, or Abdul, who have shared this guide?
Yeah, we'll share this like.
We'll share this. It's a lengthy document.
You can go in the first slide. Okay, this is this page. Stop here, please. You can stop here. Okay, so there's a general information about the Erasmus Plus, etc., etc., etc. From the 39 page, as you can see, learning mobility of individuals, up to, you can go down, scroll down, please, Dilante or Abdul, who is managing the guide. Until you can go a little bit more still down on this Mundo section. you can stop here. Like key action 3, more than 300 pages, 250 pages of possibilities for involvement in the European programs. There are plenty of possibilities, and we have just reached several of possibilities at today's session. But for the training, we are going details for the possibilities for involvement in the program, and also we are going to work with the practical examples, which is the most important thing of the program. For reason that you are going to read these 360, 400 pages, and you are going to be for sure confused for reason that, and the narrative part in the guide needs to be explained. Okay.
Shall we
This
go
is
to the next?
We can go with the next one.
Okay, I think like time is also running fast. Like so, like we'll just go to the next question from Nimali.
And quick questions, huh? Easy.
Yeah, we can say in Europe like blitz, quick questions. Yeah, short questions.
I'm Nimali, director of a vocational training institute called High Flyers. So what we are doing is we provide English speaking training to youth, and also I guess you can hear me. So
Yes,
Yeah, we
can
can.
hear you.
yeah, there are 3 layers. One is kids, the other one is youth, and the other one is adults. So my first question is, are we eligible? Second one is, how can we collaborate with universities in Europe and other countries? So are you providing those collaborative facilities? So should we find this partnership and all? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to start from the last question. I'm not the guy that is merging institutions between Europe and Sri Lanka, but yes, I'm working more than 14 years in Europe regarding this program. And also I can share with you all the informations regarding the possibilities for collaboration between European institutions and Sri Lankan, but also taking into consideration that there is a possibility, there is a project results platform. There's also one platform where you can see all the projects in a short way, what kind of goals they had in their projects implementation. These are successful projects, granted projects from the European Commission, from the European Union institutions. So yes, you can find also the ideas for creation of projects, and also their platforms for finding partners. There are different kind of platforms. We are going to explain them, and also we are going to see them at the training. These platforms with the aim of merging institutions all around the world, from Europe and concretely other institutions from all around the world, for searching of partners. So there are platforms for searching of partners, and you can search and you can find a lot of partners which would like to collaborate concretely with your institution. More or less, most of the institutions that are partners in the Erasmus Plus and they're creating different kind of projects, firstly, they have create this collaboration and communication through these platforms. And yes, for the first question, if you are eligible or not, if you are, as I mentioned at the beginning, public or private body, which is working in the area of education, training, youth and sport, yes, you're eligible. And you can apply for the centralized sections, and also you can be partner in the decentralized sections. But first thing first, creation of your OED number, finding your partners, and then applying. These are the basics.
Okay, I
Thank you.
think like got an answer. We'll go to Niranjan Nigamana.
Thank you. My name is Niranjan. I'm from Shilpa Saira Foundation. Dilantha knows about it. He was one of the persons who really helped us found our organization around 2006 and continue. And we have been working like 15 years, more than 15 years in the sector, and we are engaged in innovation, education development, and youth development. So my question is it mandatory to have an international partner? Second is how many partners can we have locally?
Okay. So for the first question, this time I'm going to start from the first question. So yes, it's mandatory to have international partners. Each sub-action of the Erasmus Plus requires different kind of partnerships. This is mandatory. The second one, if you want to involve partners from Sri Lanka, yes, it's eligible to involve partners from Sri Lanka, but also bearing in mind to involve partners from other parts of the world. Concretely, I will give you just one example. For capacity building in vocational, vocational and training, you can have two partners, you as applicant, another partner from other country, just an example like from China, and two other partners, it's mandatory to be from Europe, from the 33 program countries. These are one of the eligibility criteria for capacity building in VET.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I think like we have come to the end of the session, and I think as Alexandra mentioned, there are 300 pages of opportunities which is there. So like with the time constraints, like we might not be able to go through everything today. So what we are inviting all of y'all is to come and join the 3-day workshop, which will be conducted on 16th, 17th, and 18th. If you are thinking that there is something which you can be part of this Erasmus fund and do something great, it's the country is needing it very much. So if you can do something, and like if you want to explore these opportunities, I think 300 odd pages of opportunities are there. So I would like to invite all, like since you all have and the registration, we all have given your contact details, email address. So what we'll do is we'll after this session, hopefully by tomorrow, we'll send you the email, as well as maybe through WhatsApp and SMS, we'll send you the details. In case you don't get maybe sometimes like there might be mistakes which you might have entered it wrong, the email address, the phone number. If you don't get it, like reach us on our website ichsrilanka.org and get in touch with us. And like I would like to also ask Dr. Dilantha, like, would you like to add something before we end?
Yeah, thank you very much, Karim, for moderating the session. Actually, I don't think that Erasmus program is huge, and the total budget for next 2021 to 2027, it's something like 26 billion, 26,000 million euros, and it's a huge program, and I don't think that we will be able to understand it properly within very short time period. But Alexander spent a lot of time here today, and to explain the brief ideas about this project and this program. Definitely from 16 to 18, we have 3 days, and that definitely help all of us to understand better. But of course, we all need to have more homework. I believe that you have to go to European Union Erasmus official site and study that, and this guide and all. It's not easy getting funding. Now I would like to explain that we will have our program at 16th at Nagananda International Institute of Buddhist Studies. It is close to Kalaniya Temple, Biyagama, very short distance from Colombo city, and very close to Biyagama Highway and Kaduwela Highway. You can come from different places. Of course, we won't provide residential facilities. We will only provide the venue for the session. Food and other facilities will be provided. And I would like to invite one of our partners, actually Dr. Gamage also here, and Secretary General of International Chamber of Commerce, Sri Lanka branch, my longtime friend, Mr. Hemakumara Gunasekara, to thank the participants and who contributed to this important event. Hemakumara.
Yes, Dilanta. So I think at the end of this program and everybody's they got all the most of the information, basic information from Alexander. Alexander, you did a marvelous job during this video. So I would like to thank you on behalf of ICH, Alexander, and especially I have to extend my sincere thanks to Abdul Karim and Supreme TV, especially who helped us. Always they are behind us, and all the participants. And hope that we all will meet on 16 at Nagananda University, and we'll discuss furthermore. And it's actually, this is a time as a country to get this funding and all other donations. And I have to specially thank again, Alexander, for your efforts towards this.
You're more than
good
welcome.
night.
Yeah, it's already late in Sri Lanka. Here is 6:30, and in Sri Lanka it's
11:10 p.m.
Yeah, 11:10. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alexander. We'll meet soon in Colombo.
Thank you to everyone, and seeing you in Colombo in approximately 2 weeks. Bye bye, and see you.
And at the same time, we are going to have a press conference, a virtual press conference.